New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Welcome to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Your hosts are two girls who believe that life is awesome, that laughter heals, and that it's possible to find deep spiritual insights in everyday experience.
Here come the girls. It's more than practical. Here come the girls. Way more than merely factual. If you want to know the secrets of a life, it's free. Listen to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Listen to Girls Behaving Metaphysically.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you? We are Girls Behaving Metaphysically. I am Robyn Rice Olmsted.
And I am Dr. Natasha Wilson.
And we are on opposite sides of the world, but we're so glad you're joining us. I am in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yep. And I am in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia.
Yes. And no matter the distance, the challenges and life persist. It's still the same. So what a week. How are you?
I'm actually good. I'm good. I texted you this morning, well, my morning, your afternoon, and I was like, I'm running late getting the girls to school, blah, 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 blah. And I got in the car and I was like in this rush mode. And then, I don't know, something just sort of like clicked in and it was like, wait, my inner life outpictures my inner life is the reality. And so my inner life says I'm on time with plenty of time. Yeah. And so I had to drive to school. It's usually 15 minutes. All I had was 15 minutes. And I'm telling you, Robyn, that was my mantra. And then my body relaxed and every light was green. There was virtually no traffic. And the one red light, I swear, that red light was red for maybe 2 seconds. And then brought my girls into school, kissed them, got back in the car. I got here like with 7 minutes, because I actually decided I'm not even going to even look at the time anymore, right? I'm just like, I have handed it over. I am a part of this living presence. I'm on time with plenty of time. And so I actually feel good because, it's always lovely when we have those demonstrations of our practice, of our practice. This is the practice, right? Yeah. And it's incredible how easy it can be to forget though. But yeah, so I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. That's funny. It is interesting though, like when you transcend time and we would talk about, there's no time, there's no space, it's all la, 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 la. And when you do it, it's like, oh wow, that was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I like the real, being in the real, like just going and then letting it go.
Yeah,
what could you do? There's nothing you can do.
That's the right. To me, that it just touched my mystic heart because this whole last week, I've just decided, I made a decision sort of on the spot, but I was just like, I'm going to get up every morning. I'm going to sit for 15 minutes, right? I'm sitting for 15 minutes. And so that's what I've done every day this morning. And it can be so easy to remember that we are one with this living presence when we're sitting. It's when we stop sitting, right? And and we descend, or we like sort of go into the reality with the small r, or like we go into the world and we forget we're not of the world. And so when we have those, I don't know, for me it is the everyday, which is the essence of what our show is right. It's like recognizing the miracle, the presence, and just the everydays of life, right? And so, and also like playing, to me, there's a playfulness to when I start to remember, oh, I am within a living presence that is in, through, and is me. It just starts to feel playful. So anyways, I'm just really grateful, and I'm happy to be here today, and I'm happy to be here with that experience.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that's great, because for me, sometimes when I take that 15 minutes and I sit in the stillness, I have to work really hard to stay in the stillness, because that's when my mind goes fast forward and wants to tell me everything that needs to happen.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the mind, right? That's how the mind is. And then I find, like, when the chatter moves on, by, focusing on my breath, or, focusing on a mantra, and the chatter moves on, and then there's just that stillness, even when it's just seems fleeting. It's so beautiful. Like I was telling someone, I don't even remember who I told this to this week, but I was like, I don't want to like get up. Just want to stay in that field, that whatever, right? Because that, like, I just feel like I'm home,
Yeah.
It's beautiful, right? Anyways, there we go.
There we go. All right. Well, last week, when we did our card pull of the week, we pulled the Soul's Journey card. Did that show up for you at all this week, that kind of connection?
I can't even tell you in all the ways it showed up this week.
It showed up for me a lot thinking about the equinox. And like, and I actually did a talk at a center and did a workshop and really took them on a soul journey. And I'm just realizing that now, because I didn't think about it then. But yeah, so it showed up for me a lot.
I love that. Yeah. Likewise, Robyn, likewise. It showed up a lot. And I didn't think about the rhythm or the theme that seemed to express for me in this week. I got my nails done too, right? I got my nails painted.
Nice.
I know, it was a little treat to myself this week. But now listening to you, I can feel how fall, the autumn equinox, has been very present, like in the experience that I've had this week, right? So yeah, like I can see it so clearly, right? Because I've been so going within and remembering that my inner world is the most real. And like I just remembered, like, and I've just been going in. I just remember, like, it's my inner world. It's my inner world that affects what I see in the world, or what I experience, my inner world. And so so that's like with the meditation, that's everything. It's like, because meditation is an inward process, right? Whereas like prayer is a bit of an outward process. Meditation is like an inward process. So I feel the rhythm of fall equinox for myself.
Yeah, that's interesting that you say that, because I feel the spring equinox here. Like, even I had a client this morning, and I've had a client this week, that it was very focused on I think remembering who they are,
Mm.
and really, coming out of the darkness into the light, really being able to express like this is who I am, this is who I'm going to be, and
Yeah.
integrating those parts of themselves. So yeah,
Yes.
I could see where it showed up too.
It's
And we're going
really
to be
beautiful.
talking more about that after the break. But now it's
Oh,
time for the card pull.
yes.
Card
And
pull.
this is the deck I'm gonna pull from. Sufi
The
Tarot.
Sufi Tarot.
Yes, because I am definitely in having some mystic energy this week.
Excellent.
Here we go.
So if you're out there listening,
Oh,
hold
look,
your intention. Hold it.
on a second. Wait a minute. Hang on. Let's start this again. Sorry, guys. Robyn, you got to tell me when to stop, right?
Okay. Like I said, if you're out there
Stop.
listening, hold your intention. Hold your intention in your heart and stop.
Okay. I'm not sure what this is, so just give me a second. I gotta look it up. It says it is the Shah of Swords. So I don't know if that is the Knight of Swords, but I am about to find out. Give me a second.
Okay. And while you're looking that up, I'll just let our listeners know if you like what you're hearing, if you come and visit us often, if you want to support us and be a donor, we would love that. That little QR code up in the top is what's going to keep this show going, and all of the good work that we do here on New Thought Media Network. So if you're able to just donate, whether it's $5, $10, $25 a month, that would really help support us and help us to keep things flowing and working in divine order.
Okay. Now, here we go. The Shah of Swords. So it says, I have to put this little light on, so I'm sorry because my vision is just what it is. Okay. For now, anyways. Okay. Reason, logic, analytical detachment, objectivity, preoccupied by the mind, philosophizing, honesty, and a search for truth. The Shah of Swords is the king of air, so it's the king of swords. Okay, so the king of air are thoughts, ideas, philosophy, and all that resides in the head space. He reigns over intellectual power and authority. In the mind, body, spirit model, he is the mind. For him, life is mind over matter and head over heart. A wise judge and mediator, he leads by being fair-minded, and communication is his forte. The Sufis, however, have traditionally favored heart knowledge over mind knowledge. Rumi even referred to logicians as having a wooden leg. Not because rational thought is useless, but because analysis, argumentation, and the need for scientific proof only take you so far in understanding life's secrets and truths. As Hazrat Anyat Khan explains, the Sufi achieves balance. The head without the heart shows dry intellect. The heart without the head represents unbalanced condition, an unbalanced condition. Balance is the use of both of these faculties. How do you reconcile the two in your being? When this card appears for you, you're being pointed to the importance of critical thinking and making decisions based on facts rather than just feeling. At the same time, you are encouraged to find a form of mastery that balances logic and emotions. When does logic turn into a wooden leg for you, keeping you from moving forward smoothly? When do your feelings cloud your judgment and keep you from acting in everyone's best interest? At what point does detachment, valued so much by the mystics, become unhealthy for you? So the contemplation is, my decisions based on logic, are my decisions based on logic or emotion? what happens when I turn solely to logic or emotions to understand life? I embrace both. The affirmation is I embrace both the rational and the empathetic within.
That was a lot.
These are always a lot. What as you sit with it though, I'm wondering what comes up for you.
Well, one of the first things that came up, and I don't know that it was really saying this, but this is how it came up for me, was, because you did say mind over matter and, something about logic. And, I don't know how balanced I am in using logic. I think that a lot of times I act from emotion. Although I think I don't know. That's a tough one because even when you're acting from emotion, there's logic. There can be logic involved in that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
One of the things that we know about like emotion is that it really is like its own, if emotion is, to me, it's like an information or a message system. So when I'm having an emotion of any kind, for me, just thinking of, it's easier for me right now just to sort of think about something like anxiety, like when it rises up in my body as an emotion and an actual felt thing. What I know about, first of all, emotions, the word itself means, right, to be in motion. That's literally what the word emotion means. And so emotion wants to be in motion. So it wants to move through us. And I like to think of it as wanting to move through us to deliver information. And so what we've come to know about anxiety in particular is it's this emotion that wants to move through us to let us know that our thinking is projected into the future, but not just into the future. It's projected into the future, often with the worst outcome, or projected into the future with catastrophe. So, or worry, right? Our thinking is, we're time traveling. We're not in the present moment. We're in the future.
Right.
So I think of emotion when we can remember that it is an information system and we pause with it, it can actually help us connect to thinking as well, or the thought, right? Whether the thought is rational or not, right? As is often the case with anxiety, it does have the ability to help us see the connection between the thinking mind and the feeling mind, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It makes sense. I think anything that when we deal with the mind, when we talk about the mind, it's so complicated. You know what I mean? It's so serious done to me.
Yeah. I don't know who I said this to. Man, I must talk to more people than I realized during the week. Because I'm like, who did I say this to? Because I know I had this conversation. But it was, I think like being a human is very complex, but I don't think it's complicated. I think the human condition is complex, but it's not complicated.
Right. I would agree with that.
Yeah. And so it's also how I think about the mind. I think the mind it's very complex. We're a complex species. And so of course the mind is complex, but I don't think it's very complicated. I think, like if we think again that emotions are these feelings that are activated by our unconscious thinking. right? So again, like anxiety, it's not complicated. Anxiety is letting us know we're not in the present moment. It's letting us know we're off into the future, we're time traveling. It's really not complicated. The complications come in when we believe everything the mind says, and then we just make our lives very, very complicated, right? It's why, I think I told you, like, oh, that's not it. Oh, I thought I had it in here. Oh, I do. So next to my bed is this book. Why? Because I understand how both the mind and my experience of this thing I call my mind, I understand how it works in a lot of ways, as complex as it is. It evolved to solve problems. That's literally what it evolved to do. And so, because as a species, most, especially those of us in westernized countries, a lot of our really big problems have been solved, although, I understand like what's happening in the political world, like some of those big problems are not being solved for a lot of people, but many of us, right, not very few of us are worried about like getting eaten by a tiger overnight, right? Like, so our minds
except in Ohio. In Ohio, they're worried about Bigfoot.
Oh, okay. So that exception, most of us, we were not worried about, like, we know where to go get food. We don't have to track the patterns, like, so, yeah. But the mind still evolved the way it did. It wants to solve a problem. And so when we don't really have like big life problems to solve, the mind will generate a problem for us to solve. Right.
I know, it's so thoughtful.
My solution, because I love a satisfying feeling, and solving for X creates such a sense of satisfaction of solving a problem. So that is what I do most evenings. To settle my brain, I do algebra. And I allow that satisfaction that I don't need to create complications in my own life because my mind wants to solve a problem. So I just solve for X.
Okay, that is a very special way of going about things. So if that helps you out there, do algebra. I think that's fascinating. I think that's fantastic and fascinating all at one time. Yeah, that would not solve the problem for me. That would make my mind multitask. It's complicated. So,
you should try it, Robyn. Mm-hmm. You should really try it. And it's amazing. Like it's like there's a focus, because your focus is like solving for X, right? Like it's so satisfying. It gives the mind what it evolved to do. Anyways, try it. It might just be, I am on the spectrum, so it could be that, but I find it really satisfying.
I hear that, and I hear that math is spiritual, as is everything. As is everything. And so for me, that's not going to be my spiritual go-to.
Robyn, it is so spiritual.
Some people bake, some people do other things. I don't know.
Which baking is about math, if you think about it.
Well, yeah, okay. Okay.
It's a science.
I got it.
And an art.
I got it. Okay. So I'm so glad that we could find that solution to help the world out there. If that helps you, take it out,
right?
Multiply it. That's right.
No, not multiply. Solve for X. Don't even worry about. Don't do a polynomial. Don't do polynomials. Just do regular equations. One nomial, one, right? Polynomials, unless you just have fun. Like, I like it. I like calculus. I really love these things. But like algebra can really help focus the mind. It's so good.
Okay. Right now we're going to focus the mind on a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the solstice. Otherwise, my mind will explode. So
Okay.
the equinox and all the things happening. So come back. Don't go away. Join us back here on New Thought Media Network.
Please help us say thank you to all of our organizational sponsors, including the Hefferland Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Center for Spiritual Living United Life, Sunshine Cathedral, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Universal Joy Center, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center Ottawa, Om Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. On behalf of New Thought Media Network, thank you, and please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, come be you. Come expand your spiritual journey. Join us for Just the Talk, Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Experience Unity Kitchener and Ottawa. Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Unity of Garden Park, New Thought Philadelphia, the Sunshine Cathedral, Unity of Savannah, and the Om Center for Spiritual Living. Come unleash your spiritual potential with New Thought Media Network. New Thought Media Network proudly presents the Science of Mind Saturday Conversations. Learn more about the Science of Mind philosophy, faith, and way of life. Join our team of experts for a weekly deep dive discussion. Come study the science of mind, chapter by chapter, and resources from the Science of Mind archives. Plan to join us every Saturday, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Only on the New Thought Media Network.
Welcome to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Your hosts are two girls who believe that life is awesome, that laughter heals, and that it's possible to find deep spiritual insights in everyday experience.
Here come the girls. It's more than practical. Here come the girls. Way more than merely factual. If you want to know the secrets of a life that's free, listen to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Listen to Girls Behaving Metaphysically.
And we're back.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. I'm Robyn.
I am Dr. Natasha Wilson.
And we are Girls Behaving Metaphysically. We're so glad you're joining us. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We so love doing this show for you. And so if you love it too, we'd love it if you donated to that little QR code up in the top. I just wanted to see how to make my finger go the right way.
It's over there. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, that was an experiment. Thank you all for bearing with me. We are going to talk today about what's happening on the planet in terms of it's going to be the spring equinox here in the Western Hemisphere. Mm-hmm. And where
the fall equinox in the Southern Hemisphere, yeah. Which brings me back to algebra. Sorry. simple algebra, simple equations, just simple equations, right? Remember, right, an equation, equal sign, that's the presence of that equal sign with polynomials on either side of that equal sign is what makes an equation. An equation is about balance, right? You want what's on the left side of the equation to balance or equal what's on the right side of the equation. And when we solve for x, both sides equal the same. Balance, equinox, equation.
Okay.
You got it?
You don't really want to know the answer, so let's just keep going. If my husband was here, if my husband was here, he'd laugh that you were asking me that, because I'd be like, yeah, I don't care if that's not, I don't care.
But anyway, that's what we're celebrating. That's what we're celebrating. Equinox.
All right. And so hopefully everyone out there got it, and that's great. So spring equinox. So this is a time when the light meets the dark, when we're coming out of the darkness and into the light. And it's when you're getting ready to go in, approaching that time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes.
That must be so strange to move into that world after living in this world your whole life. Is it weird?
No, I mean, not anymore. It was at first. As a matter of fact, it was quite shocking. I'll never forget my first Christmas here. I mean, I grew up with Christmases without snow, right? Because I'm from New Orleans. But before moving here, I lived in the Northeast. So Christmas, there was snow, right?
But even, I think more like summer, like just for the months of June, July, August to be winter.
That's what I'm saying. So there's that. And I'm just trying to explain, like, Christmas, my first Christmas. I remember sitting with my in-laws at the time at their home. And there was this big spread, and it was like seafood. And it was like on ice. And there were images of Santa on a surfboard, right? Because it's hot. Mm-hmm. I remember I had my hair braided, and I had on this little short wig because I wasn't thinking about just how hot it was. And I was sitting at the table sweating. And I was just like, everything felt so surreal. I was like, this isn't right. This is wrong. Like, this is wrong. I should not be sitting here sweating, eating cold seafood with Santa on a surfboard. I was like, this is weird. Like,
yeah. I mean, Santa on the surfboard isn't that weird to me, having grown up in California, and yeah, I remember Christmas Eves where we were at the beach.
Mm-hmm.
So that part, but like, I just think it'd be weird in the summer for it not to be summer. You know what I mean?
It is summer here when it's summer. Like, we're leaving summer now, and it was really hot. And when you all were like, bundled up and freezing and talking about winter bombs, winter booms, I don't know what it is. I forgot the name of it. Like, we were like sitting in here under a heat dome. Yeah.
But like June, July, August, summer. Like summer everywhere in the United States.
I know.
I
know. My daughter is a July baby, and I sometimes I'm like, oh, you're a summer baby. And she'll remind me, no, Mom, I'm a winter baby.
Yeah, that's weird.
It is so weird.
So the spring equinox is all about, what happens when the sun crosses the equator and that equal day and night. I'm talking in math terms for you.
Hey.
and it's really about it being a reset point, and I don't know, a shift from the inner to the outer, a shift from the inner work and moving to our outer expression, which is spring.
Yeah. It's beautiful. I mean, I think again, it to me, it goes back to the card, which was pointing to balance, like the card I pulled, right? It was about this balance between heart and mind. And like we see the sort of constant pull towards balance, like on the planet, right? Because the planet is warming, and we know that hurricanes and cyclones are like the air conditioning system of our planet. So because the planet is warming up, in that pull for balance, the cyclones and hurricanes become more intense and more frequent because the earth is trying to cool itself, right? It's balance. Like that's what the equinox represents. It represents like this sort of balance, this set point, right? And yeah, I don't know. I'm sitting, what am I saying? I don't know. I was gonna stop saying that so much. There is, like, I think in our very sort of makeup nature, it reflects this earth because we're earthlings. And so even in us, our bodies are constantly like moving towards balance. You know, we get a cold, right? It's our body trying to reestablish homeostasis, which is like another way to talk about balance. So yeah, it's interesting. Like, I feel like in every time we have an equinox, whichever side, right, spring or fall, it's offering us this opportunity to come into balance. So as you guys are coming out of winter, it's like, okay, now we're moving into the other side of the equation.
Yeah. But let's talk about I mean, really what's being called forth is spiritually, metaphysically, whatever, because, you know, yes, it's balance. So for us over here, it's really about, it's the season of where we've come out of, you know, planting our seeds and being within and holding that space, and we're now coming into the light of, and you know, a time to bring those thoughts and seeds to pollination and fruition and all of that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because it shows like how many of our traditions, like even though I'm in like I said, in the Southern Hemisphere, but like Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander people here have different ceremonies for like this time of the year. But however, because this place was colonized by like Europe, by England in particular, it is literally still a part of the Commonwealth. It's Easter here, but Easter, right? Easter is about the blooming, things blooming, right? It's about fertility. It's about, I mean, that's why the rabbit, right? Like the whole is a symbol of, because we know what rabbits do. So it's really interesting though to sort of be in the Southern Hemisphere where the mainstream culture is engaging in rituals or ceremonial practices like Easter that's representative of the seasons of the Northern Hemisphere. It's just a very interesting space to sit in. And so it's so like, it's just interesting because again, autumn is like we're going inward. We go inward.
So let's talk about though the what you do in fall. Like, so in the just in like that metaphysical way. I mean, like, I think for the equinox, I think, you know, it's about coming into alignment with your beingness, so to speak, and really allowing that, like those things that you want to happen, bringing them to fruition, and really harvesting, what's been planted. And so I know, like, some of the rituals I think that have been happening here are really just exploring that a little more, and what's your soul's journey, and things like that. And so what are some of the things that might happen over there? I mean, in the fall equinox ceremony type thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying, right? So like in the main culture, conventional culture, mainstream culture, right? They're doing the things that are representative of a spring equinox.
Right. No, I meant more personal.
Yeah. So personal, spiritually speaking, moving with the actual season, right? The rituals are about going inward, right? So yeah, probably, like for me, I just noticed, like, it is time to sort of fall in, surrender. I feel like that is what the season represents. It represents a sort of like going within, surrendering to this movement towards the darkness, the movement towards where are there things that I've been so outwardly focused that I need to come in and remember now, right? I need to come in, my role becomes more internal. And so this is the time of coming in, of reflecting all that has manifested during the summer, right? And then coming in, having more deep introspection, creating time to sit and go within and move into the internal world, right? So yeah, so to me, that's what the fall is. The fall is about, and what the fall or autumn equinox is really about, is that beginning, the leaves start to fall from the tree. It's so beautiful, especially down in southern Australia. The further south you go, you really get a legitimate experience of the leaves turning yellow and orange around this time of year. And then they fall from the trees, right? So it is this time of like letting go of all that has manifested, right? The only constant is change in this universe. And so it really is about letting go of the physical world and going in to the world of the unseen.
Yeah, and I think so over here, I think that, I think a lot of it is doing the work of what's been planted, so if we really truly believe that all that we need is within us, or all has been given to us, that we're whole, perfect, and complete, we want for nothing, so to speak, then how do we carry that out? I think is like the question for now. How do we stay in that knowingness and have it, and either try to work with, access, whatever the belief, if there's something that's keeping us from getting to that place of where we want to be, or whatever that looks like, or doing what we want to do. Like if we believe that, it's all there and it's all ours, and then what's the limiting belief that's keeping us from getting to that? I think that this is the time, for the acorn to become the oak, or whatever, to grow into that space of strength and knowingness, and being able to find your purpose, and things like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. No, I just, the questions are different on this side, right? And I'm in this rhythm, in this hemisphere. And so it's like I said, it's really interesting because my life, sort of the thematic, like if I have to look back on this week, the thematics, the theme of like the way my life has moved this week has been really about remembering that my inner world, that is where I hold vision. That is where seeds are planted. Even when I look out into the world of form, I feel this pull to remember that what is out there is pointing me to come back to what is real.
Mm-hmm.
And that is like the most real thing. The most real thing is this internal space, because it's from this place, this internal space, right, is where manifestation emerges, right? It's coming back in word. I just feel like, right, so the fall, the autumn equinox right now is about coming back in and just remembering the truth of our being, the truth of who and what we are. And so what I also find beautiful is that even as we talk about this in terms of the planetary, our planet's seasons, whether I'm down here or up there, right? If the orientation doesn't matter where I am, I can enter into both processes, right?
Of course.
Both processes are always speaking to each other. So even as I'm going more inward, it doesn't mean I'm not looking at how life expresses through and as me, and what it means to sort of live outwardly this internal miracle that I'm remembering, that is existence and that is life, right?
Yeah,
Again, balance,
absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely. I think, yeah, balance is super important. And I think, that's true always, that, we don't go into a season and like tunnel vision it, that it doesn't bleed out. I mean, it's all
Right.
supportive of the
We don't like go into an oak tree and hibernate. Yes.
Actually, what I would say to you is, that's part of finding the X, or multiplying the X, or getting to the X, or
The equation. Yes. The balance. Yes.
yeah. So, and so it's always going to be a combination of things. And I think so for over here, I would just say that really you know, the message, I think, or the questions that are being asked of you during the equinox is, how will you bloom? How can you take, that whatever's come through you to you, from the darkness, and come into the truth of who you are, and celebrate and have fun, and be you.
Hmm. Yeah. And I guess the question I would pose from this side of the planet is, how can you remember to also fall or go within when you forget the truth of your being, right? How do you go in? What is your practice of going home? Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that's my question I will put out there.
Yeah. And no matter where you are or what side of the equation you're on, I mean, I think the general, gift is that we were all born with everything we need and filled full of, the light and the goodness, and it's not outside of us. And it doesn't matter if you're, going into a contemplative place, or, a place where you're being quieter or stiller and emerging later into the lightness, or whether you're coming out of the darkness. At the end of the day, what stage you're in is not the thing. It's how can you be here now and be your best you, and at the end of the day, that's what the world needs right now, is for people to be their authentic, kind, wonderful selves, and to trust that is who you are, and that is enough, and that is shaping you. And that's our prayer, our wish for you, to know the truth of who you are, and to be able to shine it out into the world, because it matters what you do.
Matters so much. It matters so much right now, right? It has always mattered so much, right? Rumi said, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Like, yeah. And to show up that way in the world. Yeah, I'm the one that I've been waiting for. We are the ones we've been waiting for. So even when we look out into the world and we see, what is like happening in the world, like the appearance, the world of appearance. Yeah, how do we balance that movement between going in and remembering like our own internal power, like our own, that's what it means to be light, right? Light is power. Like even when we talk about electricity, or we talk about the electric bill, or we talk about it as power. Oh, the power company, right? The light bill from the power company, because light is power, and that power, that light is us. And so the more we go home to remember that we're that light and are willing to shine it out, we start to be beacons for each other. And we realize like we are the ones we've been waiting for. And collectively, there's a power, when two or more of you pray and are present and whatever, I can't remember the saying, but it's like this collective emanation of power. And the more we remember, whatever our practice is, to be the miracle, to let that light, that power in us shine, then it can't be siphoned off or used by others in ways, or extracted from us, because we remember that we're the ones we've been waiting for. And so we stop giving it away, we start being it. And so how can we use this season to do both? The spring autumn rhythm, right? Go within and remember the light, and then be willing to live that outside. Be willing to let that emanate into the world. And when we see the world, remember, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Yeah.
We are the ones we've been waiting for. And if you want more of us, you're going to have to wait another week. So shine your light in the meantime, and shine it bright, everybody. And we'll see you next week. Bye.